People saying Chelsea are paying more salary compared to other teams is nonsense. The reason we didn't sign Ugarte is because we didn't want to pay him the salary that PSG are. And it is true. Chelsea are not offering higher salaries than most other clubs. They're just offering longer contracts than anybody else.
Security.
And that isn't the only reason. I think people are genuinely attracted to go and play for what Chelsea are trying to achieve. I think that it's a combination of things all the time, really. And on Chelsea,
but why people are acting like people are actually going to Chelsea for actual footballing reasons? That's what I don't understand.
You don't
Chelsea
think,
finished 12th.
Hang on. You don't think
sacked 4 managers in 2 years. Pochettino ain't really like an unbelievable manager like that. People are like, the Chelsea fans are so triggered by the idea that so many people keep saying, okay, like maybe they're choosing Chelsea for monetary causes or for other reasons. Like, why are we sat here acting like this is Chelsea under Mourinho or Chelsea under Ancelotti? It's not.
So you don't think any of this? So you don't think? Sorry, Sam. You don't think any of their signings in the past, this summer, let's say this summer, you don't think any of any of them are coming there for footballing reasons to try and win major trophies? You think it's money?
No, fuck no. Who's going in there for footballing reasons? Which player who signed for Chelsea is going in there for footballing reasons? Can we be honest? Because the reason why people tell me Liverpool's people keep saying we finished 5th, right? Okay, so Chelsea finished 12th. So using their logic, by definition, they're supposed to be a club that people don't want to go to. So this is the thing, like, can we stop acting like people are choosing Chelsea Football Club for football reasons? Pochettino is a good manager. He's not unbelievable or anything. Like, Pochettino is just a good manager, right? Their football club currently, it's not in the most stable state. They're trying to get to the stability levels. And they haven't really, with Pochettino, maybe the whole winning situation ain't really there. So for me, I'm just not believing this whole Chelsea, like people are going there for football reasons. Who the fuck else was in there for Disasi? Who was in there for Gusto? Who was in there for Nkunku? These are players that it was just Chelsea who wanted. With the Caicedo situation, fair enough, but Caicedo has just signed a 9-year contract. He's secured his entire footballing career, essentially. And the Lavia situation, we all know what happened there. The Belgian journalist himself kept tweeting the guy prefers a move to Liverpool, but we just didn't execute the move properly. So, yeah, this whole thing, like, people need to stop acting like Chelsea people are going there for footballing reasons. Like, we all know the reasons why they're going there.
But you do know that Chelsea, I mean, City may have overtaken them slightly now. I haven't done the maths. But in the last 20 years of English football, they are the most successful club. All these young players, so the Nkunkus, the Gustos, when they were growing up as kids, City have done it more latterly. Chelsea and Man United were the two teams that were winning. That's what these young kids grew up on. Chelsea have a heritage with the younger generation, just as Steve was saying earlier. I do think it is unfair to say nobody's going there with the idea or belief that they're going to develop a team that's good enough to win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. I do. I just don't think I think that's crazy.
I think obviously Chelsea last season was terrible. The whole place just was stinky, and the players there just didn't want to know. I think what they've had to do this summer, they've gone out, they've gone big. They've got a lot of younger players. They're buying academy players. They've gone and bought Strasbourg. They're moving players around there. I think Chelsea's quite an attractive proposition for a player now to look at. You're going to get the money, but B, you could be part of this new generation of players that they're bringing in. And C, they finished 12th or whatever last season. There's no pressure this season. They've just got to go and beat that. So they've got to go and get in the Champions League. Where you look at certain clubs, the massive pressure, one big signing comes in and everything's on your case. Look at Declan at Arsenal, the pressure on him. He's got to come in there and deliver now because Arsenal finished second, so they're going to want one better. Liverpool are going to want top 4. The Liverpool fans ain't going to accept it again. They're going to want Champions League. Chelsea, I think the level of players that's come in and all, I do think it's an attractive proposition. I do think it's a part of a new project. I think Todd Bowley's new project is not only about spending 900 million, because I think that'll slow down. And I think if you look at the ages of the players he's brought in, it'll level off. And I think it'll be 1 or 2 every year. And Chelsea will get back in the mix. So Chelsea are doing their thing. Whether you agree with it or not, it's fast. They've had to accelerate it. They need the Champions League money. They need to get back in there. But I don't know. I think a lot of young players, like Terry said, they do look at Chelsea for the footballing reasons. They have won a lot of trophies in the last 20 years.
Yeah, they have won trophies, but like Mourinho ain't there, Drogba ain't there, Lampard ain't there, these guys ain't there. Like I get them looking up to Chelsea. Sterling grew up a Man United fan. He played for Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea. He said it himself. He grew up a Man United fan, and he played for the two biggest rivals and for Chelsea Football Club. So like this whole grew up supporting stuff, I really don't think it matters in modern football anymore. I feel like footballers are looking at it more like as a job now than anything else. And by the way, I love how when Steve first started, he said, "A the money." So like we can agree on that.
So I understand that. So if it's all like more of a job, then are people joining? I mean, when was the last time you guys like you guys 2 years ago were challenging for the Premier League and Champions League? So if you go 2 or 3 years now about challenging, and then a number of players sign for Liverpool, based on your logic, they won't be joining for trophies. They'll be joining for money only, for business, not to try and have successful football careers. You know, that's if you guys say you don't challenge for 2 more seasons, 3 more seasons for any major trophies, you're not good enough to. Then anybody that joins you after that, that means they're basically a mercenary. I just don't believe
that. It depends the direction the club is heading in, of course.
But again, but you're judging Chelsea. Chelsea have gone through something that we've never seen happen before in English football, where they've gone for a forced takeover. There was massive problems already at the club that were created by Roman. Well, they were spending money, weren't in the country. There was problems. They made some mistakes last year and they had a terrible season. But if we as football fans, I know there's rivalry. If we're not going to sit there and be honest and say they are trying to rectify that and create a football team that can win, I think we're mad. If they, I don't what is the point of what they're doing if they're not trying to win? Why would they spend all this money, buy all these youngsters, like sack managers to try and get better? Why would they do all that, Chelsea, if they're not trying to win?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're not there to win. I know that they're trying to create a winning scenario and a winning situation at Chelsea Football Club. I'm just saying we need to all stop acting like people are looking at Chelsea now and choosing them at this very moment for footballing reasons. Because they're not choosing Chelsea now for footballing reasons.
Why?
You know, maybe for something that's going to happen in the future, fair enough, but not as things stand.
But that's why you join now, isn't it? Like when Klopp was building your team that ended up winning a Champions League and a Premier League and nearly did a domestic quad. Sorry, nearly did the quad. Sorry. When the Manes and the Genies and the like were joining that team, you weren't winning. So, but they went because they believed in the project that was being built to win trophies. They went partly for football. Listen, they went for partly the heritage. They went partly for the money. But of course, they believed in what Liverpool were doing and what they were going to achieve. That's what I was. Listen, I understand there'll be elements of the decision that is security, but I just think it is completely intellectually dishonest to say that these players are also not looking at this and saying, look at the team Chelsea are building. They've got a really good manager in, at least tactically. There are question marks over whether he can get over the line. We know that. But
Terry, they're giving people 9-year contracts.
I do not believe, Hassan, that you truly believe in your heart that they're not going for any element of footballing reasons at all. I think that's
no. I genuinely believe that.
Wow.
People aren't going to Chelsea for footballing reasons as things stand, man. I just don't understand why that's... People are not choosing Chelsea over Liverpool for footballing reasons. People are not choosing Chelsea over City for footballing reasons. People are not choosing Chelsea over Arsenal for footballing reasons. The other clubs, then after that, you can argue. Fair enough. Man United, you can make an argument. I'd still edge United over them. But
you're giving me heartburn.
No. Listen, I just don't think... I'm not saying there is no element of football reason in there. Some people, yes, they might want to play for Pochettino or whatever, but we're saying right now, what I'm saying is it's not football reason primary, you know? That's what I'm saying. And if they become something that's a winning formula, then that's what happens. And when you reverse the question on me, of course, 100%, in 2-3 years' time, if we're still not challenging, if we're not winning stuff, then it's not just like us signing players that's going to be a problem. Us losing players is also going to be a problem again, because Virgil would leave, Salah would leave, all these players would leave too. So that's the thing, like challenging and being there at the top level of football is what's important. That's why from the beginning, when you asked me, who do you think has most pull in the country? I said City, and I never mentioned money. I never spoke on money. I said the manager, the success.
I understand that, but not all footballers are motivated by the same thing. And there's weird comments like this. So Terry believes Caicedo was watching Chelsea when he was 1 year old in 2004. No, but I believe he could have been watching them when he was 9 years old, lifting a Champions League. Because I remember football from when I was 9. I believe he was a teenager when they won their last Champions League. So yeah, no one's claiming he was watching football at 1 year old, but as he grew up, Caicedo's experience of a young man watching football, Man United and Chelsea were the best two teams in England. And that shapes how you feel about certain clubs. The generation before him grew up, Man United were the dominant force in the back end of Liverpool. In London, there's a lot of people between about 34 and 45 that support Liverpool because they were the dominant team at that point. There was barely, listen, I grew up in London, there's barely any Chelsea fans around because they didn't do much. That's changed now. Like my boys do football. When I was a kid, you did not see a City shirt on anyone. Buying one kid, actually, and he was from Manchester, and he moved down. Now, I'd say 20% of the shirts of all the kids running around are City shirts because they're more popular. So, come on, it definitely happens in that.
Speaking
in that
of
way.
Manchester United, Caicedo said he preferred Man United and he's a Man United fan.
He also
So
said
how's
that
he at Chelsea now, if that matters?
because we didn't go. Because again, it matters to a degree, but we didn't go in for him. We didn't go in. But Rasmus Højlund grew up a Manchester United fan. We went in for him, and he's like, "Yes, I want to do this." It's all about. Listen, I don't think it's one thing that motivates a player per se. Generally in life, there's a key motivator for everybody. Some people are motivated by money, status, security, whatever it may be. But it's multiple factors, and I think they look at, yes, the money, yes, the contract length, but they look at the squad status, the style of football, who the manager is going to be. They weigh up multiple elements. What direction is the club going in? What good things am I hearing? Sometimes it's how did they make me feel? You know, did they give me the respect I deserve? Did they make me feel loved? Did they make me feel like Jesse Lingard did an interview why he went Nottingham Forest instead of West Ham? He said West Ham just didn't make him feel like they really cared. It was sort of like, yeah, we'll just do a deal quick, no negotiations, bang, sign it. And he said he felt kind of like it wasn't a big thing. Yet Forest came in and made him feel like a superstar. And that was only a 1 year deal versus a 5 year deal. So it was less money, but he signed for Forest. And Lingard might be a rarity and nobody else would think like that. I don't think it's as easy to say. I don't know how many players Chelsea have signed now, probably about 18 to 20 players in the last year. I just don't believe that all 20 have gone, don't care about football, going for the money. I just don't think that's the case, bruv, personally. But some super chats here I want to go to. People saying Chelsea, I've already done that one. I apologize. Excuses because Liverpool got scalped by Chelsea is what Plaza Fan says here. Anthony says youngsters move to Chelsea because they dream of playing for Strasbourg.